Hey guys, NCS Fan 001 here, welcoming you to another trophy list analysis video. Today's game is Battlefield 1, finally getting the trophy list, which is awesome. So Battlefield 1 is of course one of the most hyped first-person shooters of the year, and it could be a very, very good game if it's done right. The game is set in World War I, which is awesome because that's what so many of us have been asking for, and it releases on October 21st, 2016 for most people. A few people might have early access, but anyway, the trophy list is 1 platinum, 6 golds, 9 silvers, 16 bronzes for a total of 32 trophies and 1,230 points. Though that will certainly be increased by quite a bit in the future when we get all the DLCs that'll inevitably come out with the game. So, let's get to it. Okay, so I think this might actually be about the least amount of trophies in any base Battlefield game for a while, at least in the main series. I think Hardline was a little bit lower as well, but I'm not entirely sure about that. So, the Platinum Trophy is called World War I Hero. Obtain all trophies, at least that one's a little bit more creative than some games. Operations, win one operation in multiplayer, that's very easy, and these are all bronzes. Counter Sniper, using a bolt-action rifle, kill an enemy scout in multiplayer, that should be quite easy. Play the objective. Complete 25 squad orders in multiplayer. As long as you're willing to play with a squad, that one should not be too bad at all. War bonds. Earned 450 war bonds in multiplayer. I'm not entirely sure how you earn them, but since it's a bronze, I doubt that's going to be that hard, especially, it'll probably be natural progress compared to some of these other trophies. Corporal, reach rank 10 in multiplayer. Again, don't know exactly how long that'll take, but I doubt it'll be that difficult to do. So we have our four of our gold trophies here in a row. Assault Enlistment, Medic Enlistment, Scout Enlistment, and Support Enlistment, which is Reach Support Rank 2, Reach Scout Rank 2, Medic Rank 2, and Assault Rank 2 in multiplayer. So I'm not entirely sure how that's done. I assume it is just play as that class for quite a while and spend quite a bit of time doing it. That's my assumption for this. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that is what I would assume this is going to be like. So I assume that's just going to be very time-consuming unless there's certain challenges that you have to do for each. If there's certain challenges you have to do for each, then this may be more difficult. But if it's just, playing as each class, getting a certain number of kills and playing for a certain amount of time to get XP and everything for each class, then that's not particularly hard, just maybe a bit time-consuming. Then we also have Decorated, reach rank 1 with all 4 infantry classes in multiplayer, so that's basically would be earned at the same time as all of these or along the way. Okay, so now we're getting into the campaign trophies. These first few are going to be bronze. Friends in High Places, complete Friends in High Places. Nothing is Written, complete Nothing is Written. Through Mud and Blood, complete Through Mud and Blood. Avanti Savoia, I don't know how to pronounce that, complete whatever that mission is called. The Runner, complete The Runner. So those are all bronze, and those are just for completing story missions. Taking Down Giants, now we're getting to the silvers. Taking Down Giants, unlock all codex entries in Friends in High Places. All Men Dream, unlock all codex entries in Nothing is Written. Sound of Thunder, unlock all codex entries in Through Mud and Blood. Conquering the Mountains, complete all codex entries in Avanti Savoia. The Hills of Gallipoli, collect all codex entries in The Runner. So codex entries are they're sort of like collectibles, but they're more like little mini challenges that you can do. And it sounds like there's going to be some that are pretty tough, such as completing some missions like really stealthily. Also, it appears there's only going to be 5 or 6 campaign missions, but they're all really long. So keep that in mind. That's what I've heard because each mission, I think, is supposed to take like an hour at most, probably. So it might be a little bit shorter than that if you do it on like the easiest difficulty, but might not be the longest campaign, so might not take too long to get all the codex entries. I'm sure there will be guides for a lot of them, which will help. Now we get back to some bronzes. Up close and personal. Perform a melee kill on 10 enemies in the campaign. That's easy. Mightier than the shovel. Find the hidden cavalry sword and take down an enemy in the French countryside in the campaign. So I've already actually seen a video of that. PowerPix or someone had a video up. That looks pretty easy, but I mean, there's videos up for it, so it's not too bad. Shockwave, kill 5 enemies by using dynamite in the campaign. That should be easy. Triple Balagbashi, kill all 3 Ottoman officers in Young Men's Work with melee kills in the campaign. So that one might be a little more challenging. The Great War, complete the campaign on normal difficulty. Shouldn't be too bad. The War to End All Wars, complete the campaign on hard difficulty. I mean, I haven't played this campaign yet, but my assumption is that given this is another Battlefield game, Battlefield games are not known for having the toughest campaigns in the world. I highly doubt that's going to be all that problematic to beat it on hard. I think more the difficulty is going to come from completing all the codex entries in this campaign. Okay, next up we have catching up on some reading. Collect one field manual in the campaign. That should be simple. Enough for a library. Collect all field manuals in the campaign. So that's going to be one of the collectible types. That's a gold, so that won't be hard. That's just going to take a little while, just following a collectible guide. Up to the challenge. Complete one challenge in the campaign. That's bronze. Putting in the effort. Complete 10 challenges in the campaign. That's a silver. And Master of Adaptation. Complete all challenges in the campaign for a gold. So when we look at this overall list, I'm going to look at both sides of it. The campaign looks like it could be a bit tricky because not as much for having to beat the game on hard, but more because you have to complete all the challenges in the campaign, which may not be bad. Battlefield 4s weren't terrible from what I remember, but this one could be different. You know, it could actually be quite a bit harder. You never know. And then the codex entries could also be problematic because I've heard that some of those are going to be fairly challenging. When it comes to the multiplayer, though, I think that those are not actually going to be all that bad because now that I look at it, I don't think ranking up your classes is going to be the worst thing in the world. Like, it's probably not going to be the easiest thing, and it's probably still going to take a while, especially since you have to do it for all 4 classes, but I don't think it's going to be all that terrible overall. I think it's going to be probably on par with any of the other Battlefield games, base game trophies and platinum trophies. So I would say this game is probably going to be around a 4 to 5 out of 10, I would say, out of the gate, but it might end up raising a little bit. It might actually lower a little bit. And probably at least 20 hours, depending on how good you are at the multiplayer and how long some of that stuff takes. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you for the next one.